out of your stock Indian saddlebag. Nagy Customs has solved that problem now with their Indian saddlebag 10-inch toppers. You might be asking yourself, what in the world is a topper? Well, it is this nice, extremely thick, we're talking about at least an 1/8 inch, if not about 3/16 thick, fiberglass topper that has been molded for the Indian saddlebags. The collaboration between myself, Nagy, and Carlos Ramirez at MBS Audio, we took and helped him make the template so that way they could get these to market, because it is a needed necessity for us. So what this does is it's going to get installed right in here. We'll show you it slides in there and press fits itself in there. And then we're going to panel bond it, tape it off, a couple of other things to get this process done. But like we talked about in one of the previous videos, the point of this is to seal your saddlebag and also add some rigidity to it. What it's going to do is it's going to create, essentially, it's going to create an enclosure to where it'll seal off the bottom portion of the saddlebag, thus making this a true sealed enclosure once the speaker's installed, but a sealed and ported, because we already have our port cut out and ready for this, thus giving us a much more predictable and tunable enclosure area for our mid bass and for tuning. It's going to give us the maximum amount of mid bass that we can get out of this bike. So we're really looking forward to doing this. This is our first set of bags that we've sealed and ported. So as you can tell, we're a little excited. So let's talk about what you're going to get with this. So you're going to get a left and right, or a clutch and brake side saddlebag topper. We don't have the left one anymore because it's already installed at our saddlebag, because we wanted to go through the process ahead of time to make sure we knew the little nuances of this before shooting our video. So you're going to get 2 of these. You're going to get some carpet fabric. It's got some sticky on the back, and that is about it when you purchase this. You're going to need some other things, obviously the Nagy ring and a port. That's all stuff that you'll be able to find on our website, or if you want us to do this for you, you send your bags and we will put all of this in here for you. First thing I want to talk about is this is not a, by any means, drop it in, put a little glue on it, and you're done process. This does take a little bit of fabrication skill. So if you aren't familiar, you don't feel comfortable with a little bit of grinding on the fiberglass, putting it in there, getting some other materials like panel bond, some resin with some thickener, and some tape and some other things, then I would highly suggest you find somebody that can do this for you. But I want to take you through this process to let you know the little quirks of doing this so you don't get into it and get in over your head. It's not terrible, but it does take some skills and knowledge to make this happen. So let's start with getting this put in there, leveling it out, showing you that, and then we're going to go ahead and put some aluminum tape. This is very common for what you're going to find for AC ducts. You can go get this at your local hardware store. We like to use this because it holds really well, but it's also easy to peel back off and keep things from sticking to it. What you're going to do, and I'm going to try to do this with you on the camera, is you're going to take this topper, you're going to slide it into the back, and then you're going to drop this in here first. And as you can see, ours fits darn near spot on. There was just a little bit of grinding required in a couple of little corners. It's a fiberglass product. Takes a little bit, but I'm going to have to say that the fitment of this is absolutely great. The fitment makes it a lot easier when you're doing this. So, like I said, you want to start by dropping this in here, making sure that you grind any areas that might be holding it up. And then you also want to pay attention to, when you drop this in here, that it doesn't bulge the bag out or warp it at all. So that's one thing that we like to check when we put it in here. So we've got it in here. It's looking good, right about where we want it. You want to make sure it's below the top of this speaker ring, because the bag latch comes down. And you want to make sure it's kind of level side to side. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this aluminum tape, you're going to cut little strips, you're going to fold it in half, so that way you can reach from the inside of the bag and stick it all the way around these corners. Because then what we're going to do is we're going to take our panel bond and we're going to run a good solid bead all the way around this to seal it and bond it into the bag. So the tape is going to help that panel bond from seeping down past it. It'll help do a really nice seal all the way around. It's going to bond this in there and seal it up. And then we're going to go to the next process of peeling that out and putting fiberglass from the backside. So we're going to do this taping part up off camera. We'll show it to you, and then we'll do the panel bonding. All right, so as you saw in that time lapse, Bill went ahead and did the awesome hard work here. As you can see through it, you'll see the aluminum tape all the way around here. Again, that is to help the panel bond from seeping through, because there are small little gaps around here that it will help adhere to. But what he also did is when he put it in there, he marked all the way around, went back with a sander about an 80 grit or so, and roughed up the plastic all the way around to give us a better bonding there. And then one other little step that we go over the top here is we put nut certs in here. So make sure if you do that, we put some painter's tape on it so that way no panel bond will drip through. So when I'm talking about panel bond, there's different things that you can use, but we actually use 3M panel bond. That's what this is. It's a 2-part epoxy that a lot of body shops use. It uses a special applicator. This is not cheap by any means. It's actually quite expensive. So what you got to do is buy these little pre-mixing tips, and you're going to go ahead and unscrew this cap, and then the little red piece is going to go with it, so you're going to be careful. Just set that aside, and then you're going to put your mixing tip through there, and you're going to see there's this little divider right here for the 2 parts, and then the nozzle has it in there too, but it's also indexed, so when you push it in there it kind of finds its place. You're going to tighten it down. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to take this and lay a really nice thick bead all the way around this edge, all the way up and over, all the way around, and then we're going to use my finger to smooth it out, because what we want to do is we want to fill all the voids, but we also want a nice smooth area the best that we can, so that when we put our carpet on here, it's got a nice smooth surface. You don't want it all wavy. It looks like trash. So let's go ahead and do that, and we'll show you the result. All right, real quick, I just wanted to show you what it looks like. There's a couple little areas that I'm gonna have to clean up once it's done, but we try to fill everything, like this little jupe right here. We'll just sand that off later. And a couple of the other goobers over here, we'll get those up out of there, clean it up for the carpet. But overall, like I said, just take your finger and I smear it over there, get it nice and smooth. So we're going to let this dry overnight, and then tomorrow we're going to come in, take all the tape off, flip it over, and then we're going to show you another trick to do a nice coat across the bottom of it. That way it gives you, that makes it that much more solid. Another extra layer of sealant just makes this bag that much tighter. So we're going to do that tomorrow. We're going to get these bags wrapped up tomorrow and installed on the bike, so that way they look just like that one right there. So it is now the next day. We went ahead and let our panel bond here cure up. It's nice and hard. We did sand up here and did a little bit of cleanup, like I said, those goobers. And then what we did is we went ahead and removed all of the metal tape, because you really can't see it all that well, but we went ahead and did that skim coat right here. And the reason for that is, one, it just adds an extra layer of sealant on here, and it just makes it more denser. So like, for example, it just makes this entire enclosure super solid. And what that is it's a mixture of resin and Cabasil, which is like a silica based thickener or hardener. So what we do is, by no means, I'm not giving you the recipe, I'm not giving you the exact measurements. We took 10 ounces of resin and then 100 drops of hardener, mixed that up really good, and then we just kept on adding the Cabosil into it, mixing it up. We mixed it all up to where it was thicker than pancake batter, but not solid. So like you take it up, like Dairy Queen, you take it up and it wouldn't fall off, but it was still pliable. And then what we did is we held the bag upside down and we just took big globs of it and added it in each spot. And then we had a plastic skim tool, or what you can use is just like a old gift card or whatnot. And we just try to level it out the best that we could, and really want to make sure that where the topper meets the bag, that seam, make sure you go all the way around and try to get as much of it there as you can. And then we just let it sit outside with that mixture of 10 ounces to 100 drops. It hardened pretty quick. I mean, this was pretty much fully cured in 2 hours. But we let it sit outside, let it cure, let it off gas, because that stuff's potent. I'm going to tell you right now, if you go to do this yourself, make sure you wear gloves and make sure you have a respirator, and do not do it inside. We took this outside because we made the mistake of the other bag doing it inside, and it was an absolute terrible idea. So that is the gist of all of this. What we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and put our braces in here. We already know where we're going to want to put them. One we're going to put all the way up here to just below the topper, and then the other one we put down here across. So that way it just adds another level of rigidity to make sure the bag doesn't flex, keeps it nice and sturdy. A couple of things I want to preface that with is, if you haven't done this before, like we just did our other bag, I would highly suggest that you put your port back in there to make sure that you're going to clear your port. And before you even do that, I'd put your speaker back in here, make sure that you didn't put too much buildup in one area, that everything fits how it should. And then when you go to do your bracing, what you're going to end up doing is putting it straight back, level it off of this back here, which will kick this at an angle, and then you mark it, cut it, shave it, put it back in there. And what you don't want is, you don't want to have to force it in there to where it's prying the bag open. You want it in there so it's a nice snug fit. And then what we like to do is we'll drill and countersink and put a screw here, but we'll also panel bond both ends of it, so that way when we secure the port or the brace in here, it's got panel bond plus a screw in each side to really hold it in there. So we're going to go ahead and get that put in there, and then we're going to get the carpet done and everything, and then we'll be back with you once it's fully assembled with the wire and everything in there before we load up the speaker. We are complete with our bags now at this point, so I wanted to do a final overview of everything, and then before we end the video, we'll show you how it looks on the bike. So let's go over here now. So you saw in the last part, we had all this done. I had Bill go in and put the bracing in here. Like I said, we'd put one right here, and then one hugging the topper itself right here. And this is where I was talking about that you really want to focus or put your port in there, because ours is, it can't be any tighter. Like the top of it touches. So you really want to make sure that when you put this port, or you got to put your bracing in here, that you put your port in first and then you double check your bracing. Another common issue I see that we've ran into is, before we even put our Nagy rings in here, we make sure they fit the speaker. And then before we panel bond them in and get them secured, we orient the speaker first, being cognizant of where the wiring terminals are, because we want to know about where our bracing is going to be. And then we pre-drill all of our speaker mounting bolts, and then we actually put T-nuts on the back side so we can take it in and out. But you have to make sure you think the whole process through. You want to make sure you know where all your speaker mounting holes are going to be, where your wire terminal is going to be at. That way that your bracing, your port, all of that isn't going to be in the way. You want to think the whole process through and to the end of it. So this is where you really have to be cognizant of a few of those things. So the last thing that we did here is we have our speaker wire. This is our 10 gauge wiring. We went right through where this is where the OEM has a little bracket that bolts in to hold the wire channel in the back, because we're not bringing the OEM wiring inside of it. when we carpeted ours right here, there's a couple of wrinkles in here. We brought our OEM wiring right here and then brought it out here. This will go to the power locks and the power port inside. But we just wanted to give a nice clean look here, so that way when you open up the bag, it's nice and sleek. And this bag is solid. It's got some good deadening to it. And then again, like I said, our port is looking nice and clean right here. We'd cut it off, and that's where our bag repair is. Like I said, when we go to finish these and get them painted down the road, we will have the shop sand that down, smooth it out, and make it look a little bit more OEM. Maybe have them bring it back to the edge a little bit, clean it up really good for us. So the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get the speaker loaded up, and then we're going to get it on the bike, which we will show you right now how it looks on the bike. See, from the outside, just walking up to the bike, you'd have no difference. You wouldn't know any better that we had actually anything done on there. And that's the point of this. We want to make this look as OEM and clean as possible. The entire build we're trying to keep it a very nice, clean, sleek look. Besides the 8-inch lowers, really wouldn't know too much has been done. So that's about it. What I wanted to do, the whole point of this entire video, was to help show you what all goes into installing one of Nagy's toppers and the process of it. This install is not bad at all, especially for installers, because Tim Nagy has taken so much time to make sure that his rings fit as they should. The toppers fit in there really well. So then when it comes to our side of the job, it's not that bad for us because, one, we've done a couple of these now, and the repetitions help us along the way. So I cannot thank Tim Nagy and his crew enough for the time and the dedication they put into this for us. So Tim, thank you very much for all that hard work. It's top notch. It fits amazing, makes our job that much easier. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helps you understand the amount of work that goes into this, and if you're planning on doing it at home, I hope it helps you along the process of installing this yourself. So again, I'm Brandon with Davidson Audio, located here in Panama City, Florida.